So if you're ready,
Yeah.
then we'll start going over here. So this is your mixer, and this is the amplifier. The amplifier, you won't really have to touch anything. Just there's a power button on the left-hand side. Just make sure it's on when you're ready to use it, and just pushes in and out. The mixer has a power button back here by the power. So that on is up. And then, yeah, so you got 6 XLR inputs and you got 2 stereo 1/4 inch. And you could also do, like we have here, RCA input. Then going on the mixer here, some of the more important features are the fader. That's the volume of your microphone. The on button is like similar to a mute button. If it's lit up, that means there's sound will come through it. And if it's not lit up, sound will not come through it. Next up here is the pan. You don't need to do that. You want to leave that in the center here for this system. Auxiliaries, they're the blue and the white. You're not using those in this system currently. So we won't review them. But then the green ones are your equalization, which is similar to your other amplifier. You've got high, mid, and low. You can, to the left is less of whichever frequency band you're adjusting, and to the right is more. And so yeah, we kind of have it set up here to roll off a little bit of lows in the microphone and a little bit of highs, add a little bit of highs to kind of make it a little more clear.
They are a little bassy.
Yeah. So and then the compressor knob. This is a 1-knob compressor. You can adjust it basically if
So if the speaker gets real high and real quiet.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. It'll kind of level out
there is one that does that
the speaker. So you can just increase the intensity of that by turning it to the right. Okay. All the way to the left is off. And sometimes we generally kind of leave it off unless people, like you said, that you're going to have some issues.
Regardless.
Yeah.
I want to post the video.
So we kind of leave it off, but because it can sometimes cause feedback problems if you're too heavy-handed with it. But you can adjust it and try to use it if you need to. This is an important one here, the gain. We set it up. You probably shouldn't have to adjust it, but the gain is the sensitivity of the microphone. Mm-hmm. So like how much signal you're going to get out when somebody speaks into it. Like if they speak softly and you need more signal, you'll have to increase the gain. If they speak loudly, you're getting way too much signal, you can decrease the gain. But we're in a good medium zone that I don't think you should have to adjust it. And then the last 2 buttons up here, one on the left is a pad, which will turn down the microphone 26 dB, which is a considerable amount. We're not using that for any of your inputs. But the one next to it, this HPF, is a high-pass filter. It says at 80 hertz, and that's good. We engage those for speaking microphones because that gets rid of low rumbling noises, like if somebody touches the podium or the mic stand. It kind of helps mitigate that sound because your voice doesn't really go down much lower than 200, 150 hertz. So getting rid of everything up to 80 hertz is fine for that. We have that engaged on all 3 of your microphones, and so these 2 buttons I skipped over, I wanted just to bring special attention to them because this is something that people will call us and say, our mixer's not working, et cetera, et cetera. But this is usually the source of the problem if you're not getting sound from a microphone. These are called the bus buttons, and the red button means if you push that in, that means that this channel is going to your stereo output. And the gray one, if you push that in, it means it's going to your group output.
Which is downstairs.
So your group is going to be downstairs, and the stereo or the master channel, that's your upstairs speakers. Downstairs speakers, upstairs speakers. You want to be sending each of the channels to both, or if you don't want to send something downstairs, you can deselect it. But right now we just have everything selected to go to stereo and the group. So everything goes upstairs and downstairs. And so we kind of have this 0 is set for an appropriate level for your speakers. So if you bring this up, your fader up to 0 and that fader's at 0, you should be fairly loud. You could probably even run this, a little bit back, and you should be able to take it a little bit up before you get to feedback. But as you heard, you can get a little feedback if you go too high.
So do you suggest adjusting the people's volume off of those ones instead of the master? Leave master unity, leave it at 0, and then do all your adjusting over there.
Usually, that's how for the system of this size. Yeah, that would probably be good. And so next, I'll take you through like a typical like operation. If you ever like plug in a microphone, I know you guys have operated sound systems and stuff before, but this is just a little review of how to go through getting a microphone. Oh yeah, so that's what we'll use that right now. So if I was plugging in this microphone here for the first time, I was gonna try to get it set up. The first thing I'd do is press this button. It's the PFL. That's the pre-fader listen. That means like whatever you do here doesn't affect the meters, because basically all the pre-fader listen does is send this. You're saying I want to see this channel on the meters. So that allows us to set our gain. So we'll have JD start checking the mic. See, as I bring up the gain, we're getting more deflection on the meters. And once we get to where he's hitting about 0, that means we're at a good gain level.
And then you can turn the mic on.
So then, we'll turn the PFL off, and you can start bringing up your microphone.
1, 2, 3, check.
To where you feel that, you like that volume.
Okay.
3,
so that's kind of the typical way. And then you can adjust, next you could adjust the EQ, and then finally, if you need to, you can adjust the pad. And then looking at this, there's one other feature that I should point out for your microphone specifically. This is the phantom power button. You guys have, condenser microphones that require phantom power. You just got to make sure that button's on and the light is on, and then you're good to go. It puts phantom power on all of the microphones, and it shouldn't harm any other kind of microphone you put in. If it doesn't need phantom power, it should be fine.
Okay.
For most cases.
And these are just for sound adjustment, like filters or...
Well, this here is the extra feature of the XU. This is some signal processing, so you can add reverb. Like I don't know, there's like reverbs and delay and chorus and wah and pitch, distortion kind of stuff. Can be useful if you're doing like a play or a music event kind of a thing.
People do use that.
Some people, not usually churches, but but some people do. And then so right now we have the phone hooked in over here, but you could hook your computer in with this. This is got an 1/8 inch to RCA jack plug or cord. That's pretty much all that is. This next channel is kind of cool, which also comes with your this version of the mixer. There's a USB plug on the back, and you could hook your computer in, and then you can record the stereo output. You'll record whatever's coming out of here, and then you can also play back onto this channel 11 and 12. And to switch that, you'll have to press this button here, which means if you see this little graphic here, if it's out, it's going to be sending from these two inputs. If it's pushed in, it's coming from the USB in the back. From the computer connection. And then it works the same way, where you just would turn it on and turn it up, and that's it. Left you guys the manuals, and there's some videos and stuff online if you guys do need some help along that kind of way, and then you can always call us also.
Try not to.
So I think that's it. Yeah.
So the passcode for the.
So yeah, I guess I didn't set that up yet. Just make sure everything.
Pretty amp.
So utility panel set.
Let's keep it simple.
Yeah, we've been doing 0101 lately.
01.
Yeah. So then we can go and we'll turn this on, and it'll tell you gotta enter the code to turn it on, turn on the lock, I mean. So there you go. 0101. It's locked. So if you try to do something, it brings up that. So cancel, and then so you can't 01. Oops. 0101. Okay. And then you have to adjust the knobs back to where they were, so that it can, in case somebody was turning them. then it unlocks
So
itself.
graphic of where the knobs were.
Yeah, and you just
Okay.
kind of match it, and then you're able to edit
Yeah.
this.
So the -10, lock it again, you go to.
All right, so lock it again. You go to menu, utility, then panel lock, and then you can go all 0101, and it's locked.
All right.
And we'll leave it locked for now. I just want to test